You know, at the end of the season, the top 4 teams in the college football rankings make it into the college football playoff. The latest rankings that came out last night have the Buckeyes at number 4. That's where they were last week. But will they be at number 4 at the end of the season or in the playoff? With more on that, I'm joined by Bobby Carpenter from 97.1 The Fan. You hear him every day, 6 a.m., Morning Juice. All right, Bobby, the Buckeyes are 4-0 right now. What does their record need to be to get into the playoff? And will the Buckeyes, if they don't play in the Big Ten championship game, get in?
Well, here's the thing I think you need to look at. It's all about data collection, Dom. It's about data points. So number one, what does the record need to be? They need to have a 0 on the right side of that column. They need to be undefeated, which I think is a very realistic possibility. One thing that people were forgetting about, you don't have to win your conference to play in the college football playoff. And the way the Big Ten set it up, it's not an all or nothing situation if you don't win your conference. They're going to pair up 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3 if you're not eligible to play in that conference championship game. So ideally, would Ohio State like to face off against Northwestern, and play Michigan State this weekend, play Michigan the final weekend and be 7-0 and beat Northwestern? Yeah, that would be great. But let's say, for instance, they miss one more game. Could they beat a Michigan, get to 5-0? Could they maybe play a Wisconsin, who I think people view as a very good team and a very worthy adversary? I think that would be enough to ultimately get them into the college football playoff as long as they continue to look the part.
What are you hearing about this week's game at Michigan State? We're told it's day-to-day. You hearing anything coming out of the Woody?
I think this whole season's been day-to-day. I know last week, and Dom, you're as tight in as anyone when you're getting texts on Thursday night, Friday morning, you're trying to figure out exactly, what's going on, who's going to be active, who's going to be playing. Are they going to fly in the date of the game, which they even tried to do against Illinois? That was pretty crazy that they even tried to do that. So I think they're going to be able to play it. I know that they canceled last week, and I think part of that reason was to hopefully be able to play this week.
All right, Bobby, Michigan canceled their game this weekend with Maryland. Are you worried that might carry over to next week's big one?
I understand why you're worried on that, Dom. That's a real worry. But I will say this. The fact that they're canceling this week, hopefully it's a little bit like Ohio State, and they're canceling this week so they'll be able to play in that final game of the season. And I think Curb Street going on the college football playoff selection show last night and kind of prodding it a little bit. I know he walked it back and apologized later on social media. But those things do have an impact. They do have an effect on things. So I think Michigan ultimately is going to try to play in that game. It's the greatest rivalry, in my opinion, in all of sport. And I don't think Jim Harbaugh wants to try to walk away from that one.
Bobby Carpenter, thanks so much, my man. Listen to Bobby every morning starting at 6 a.m. 97.1 The Fan Morning Juice. And Yolanda, trust me, that show will wake you up in the morning.
Well, if it wakes me up, it's going to be darn good because I am not a morning person.